Hey, welcome back to Part 3 to our
Rifle Club.
Rifle Club. Which
One
is
way
what,
to play golf.
Which is what we in America call citizenship. If you saw us on YouTube, you saw a very good version because copyright reasons of XE full and conversion of this and other Molly films. You can have a Patreon or channel membership. Stop the link in the description below. Opening up to go check that out. At the end of this part, we will talk about the movie and review it. Okay?
Okay.
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 Here we go. Let's finish this movie.
Yep.
Pour on your rug.
Please don't step on my brother. Secretary Avaran.
Present, sir.
Finally. Nice to meet you, sir.
ഇത് നിന്റെ വൈൽഡ് വെസ്റ്റ് അല്ലടാ കോപ്പേ, വെസ്റ്റേൺ ഗാർഡ്സ് ആടാ.
Fine. Six.
ഒന്നുകൂടെ കാണാനുണ്ടല്ലോ.
ഒന്ന് മാറിക്കേ.
That's how Texans think they can defend their homes.
Yes. Very true.
I only need to use 6 bullets. All right. I thought it was nice, but it definitely felt very shallow in terms of the plot and everything. It seems like it was kind of done almost as like, I have this cool idea, I have these cool shots, and without a lot of like meaning behind a lot of the plot. And so that's right.
It's all style, no substance.
Yeah. Which, is fine for some movies, obviously. You just I think you need to, if that's your goal, I think you need to be a lot more so like if that's your goal, I think the comedy needs to be put way up. And even some of the action pieces need to be way up. If that's your goal.
Yeah.
Just style, as in no plot, but it seems like they were kind of going for a little. It wouldn't surprise me if this director is a first-time director, because his cinematography was, I think, fantastic, as well as I think the score was actually really fantastic. But those are the two really only fantastic things I can really think.
I thought sound was very good.
I think there were a lot of nice things. There were some nice performances. There was poor Hanuman kind. I wonder if this was his first acting role. But also the dubbing never helped him either.
No, true.
And so that's I can't fully judge him off of that. Let's see. Director. He directed one.
He's
two. No,
directed quite a bit.
He's directed quite a bit. Director of Virus.
Oh,
Interesting.
very interesting.
Very different style of film. Produced that Fa movie right there. Director. No, he's been a director for a good minute.
Yeah.
And actor. So I'm wrong there.
Yeah. Actually, he's done quite a few films.
Yeah, he's done quite a few. Because that's my main gripe. I think, like I said, I think overall it's fine, one-time watch. There was definitely issues with the film. I was just hoping for since the beginning of it, somebody dies right away. Hoping to care a little more, because obviously that's what they're going for there, and that never materialized
at all. The justification and the whys of what's going on, and
this would be cool.
The importance of why we're doing this, and caring about the fact he lost 2 sons, and there was a ton of inconsistencies of stuff like the son saying where the arms that were supposed to be in the armory that are all hidden, and he said, well, we hid them because we don't want the authorities confiscating them. Well, what does that have to do with using them for self-defense in your house? And then why did the son just suddenly stop pressing him for the guns? There was
No,
it was all, and that's why half of the film is in slow motion, because that's how you can take a very empty story and turn it into a 113-minute film.
Yeah. I think if you gave this film to like maybe, I'm not saying anything about if we saw Virus and we liked Virus. It's like those are the only two directing things I can really say about this director. Very different style of films for sure. I think Virus definitely was a lot more plot driven.
Virus is all substance.
Yeah. And this one was, even though I probably shot way better than Virus, I'd say, but it's just you don't care very much. And so if you're not caring about the plot very much, I need other elements. Like if you're going to be all that, be like a Nelson style film where I'm laughing a lot, or like crazy cool action sequences. Nelson is a unique blend because he brings everything into, you got a great plot, you got fun, you got.
I mean, the primary point of this is to show you how they just were only thinking style. The primary plot point is Anurag's character is going after the guy who kicked his son out the window.
Yeah.
He forgets that and turns it into, I'm going after the deputy. Why? Because he shot his other son.
Yeah.
So he lost sight of all of that. It's just, we could go on, and I don't want to belabor it. But yeah, for me, it's not even a medal contender. I wouldn't even give it a bronze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wish, because I think like you could have elements there that could make a really fun movie. But
yeah, if you work the story out,
like if Anurag was maybe the director or the writer, I don't know this, but it doesn't look like the director wrote it. Some other people did the screenplay here. Yeah. And also take away the dubbing. That never helps anyone.
No,
anyone, especially like it looks like my guy was a new actor, and though he looked cool a lot of times, it never helps inconsistent acting when you have to dub it as well.
It gets it takes something that was bad and makes it worse.
Yeah, and they even did it to Anurag because it's quite frustrating at times because like I'm looking at Anurag and I'm like, I could see it. He believes it. He's into it. And then at other times I'm like, oh, that's dubbed. I hate it.
Yeah,
don't do that to me because I think it could be like a lot of fun. It's very different also for a Malayali film to kind of feel like this.
Yeah,
those ones are
typically
primarily plot driven.
Yeah,
films. Not saying that you can't do just an action kind of style film because that's a thing. But it's just Malayali's not usually the one that only is style for it.
Yeah,
and that's why I thought the rest of the cast did pretty good. No real standouts, obviously. No. I think the standouts were probably the score. I think the score was fantastic by Rex. Say that last name?
Vijan.
Composer. I think the score was. I was grooving to a lot of the songs.
Yeah, the score was enjoyable. Cinematography was enjoyable.
Director
and sound design was enjoyable.
Yeah, those were the most enjoyable parts of it. Other than that, it was kind of just a little bit of a letdown for sure. Because I heard so much about it.
And what are the accolades that you were hearing?
I heard fun mostly.
Just fun.
Because it kind of got mixed in with Marco a little bit, even though I know that one.
That's what I was hearing, was that it was like Rifle Club and Marco.
But Marco, I think, is a lot more. Even if it might be more of a style film, it's like extremely on the violence,
extremely graphic,
and
violent.
So, that kind of keeps you engaged. I don't know.
I hope it's not just that, because you need, if you don't have a storyline, that only goes so far.
Yeah, I think like even if you kind of kept it like kind of the way it was, but just added more humor to it, because that helps people stay engaged. I'm not saying just only do that, but that would help because you'd be like, oh, it was funny as well. I had some laughs. Yeah, the plot was a little thin, but I had some laughs and I had fun.
Yeah.
That's I think a trick you can do if you feel like your story doesn't have a ton of substance behind it, to kind of keep people like, oh, I care for this character. I'm invested in this guy's story. Like the Bloody Beggar.
Yeah.
Not a ton of plot in that.
But at least it had consistency.
It
had
did.
consistency in its plot, and it had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it's because it's still storytelling.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a spectacular story. Most of the action things are pretty straightforward, like rom-coms. Boy meets girl, girl breaks up with boy, boy and girl go back together. Pretty simple. With these kind of things, hero does something bad to the antagonist gets pissed and goes to get the hero, and the hero fights off the antagonist.
Yeah.
But we lost sight of everything and just went for style. Slow-mo, action, we're going to do things just to do them, like the husband and wife doing the kill and kissing. That was just for the moment. It had nothing to do with story.
Like you've seen a shot in another movie like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I want
just
a shot like
so
that in my
much
movie.
stuff was done just to be style and cool without any substance. Versus, we'll say it ad nauseum, a film like Kill, which nails it in every way.
Was Anurag speaking? I know a lot of times he was speaking English. Was he speaking Malayali?
He hardly said. When he did, he said one or two words.
Yeah.
It was 85% English, another 10% Hindi, and 5% Malayali.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, you got to get away. I mean, he's not Malayalam.
Malayalam.
So you kind of got to get away.
It was Malayalam. The people are Malayali. The language is Malayalam.
Yeah, I'm looking at Letterboxd. The reviews are kind of mixed. A lot of 3 stars. Of some people kind of saying what we said. A lot of other people, like, I guess they enjoyed the style a little more. Like this guy says, Tarantino mode.
Yeah, no. Nowhere near a Tarantino film.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of people. And some people are echoing what we said. Like, okay, I liked most of Rifle Club, but this climax was literally for nothing.
Yeah.
But there's other people that did like it. So I heard lots of people. We got, once it dropped on OTT, a lot of people.
I know.
We got like, oh, watch Rifle Club.
Watch Rifle Club. Watch Rifle Club.
So
DM me on Instagram to explain some things if you really are like, you love this film and wish we had too. What is it about the film that you loved?
I think I'm not going to say it's a bad film. I'm not saying that, but I definitely don't think it's anything meritorious either.
Right.
That's probably my more disappointment because I heard so much.
Correct.
Maybe if I didn't hear so much, I'd be like, oh, that was okay. Kind of like what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd still feel the same way about it.
It's just when you hear a lot of people saying like, oh, this is...
Yeah, because, I probably, irrespective, I would have felt the same way. Because, for example,
yeah,
sometimes too much hype can take you into something and you go, All We Imagine Is Light did that.
Yeah.
Heard all this hype, and I was expecting this to be like contending for Header as my favorite Indian film of all time, and it didn't. It was still a great film.
Yeah.
And then the opposite is true for something like Lal Singh Chadha that everybody hated, and I'm like, why are you hating that? So, the thing for me is, what is it about it for folks that unless they've just, unless they haven't seen a lot of films like this, so this is the first time they're encountering these kinds of things, because you and I have seen a lot of films.
Maybe in Malayali.
Yeah. Well, it is different. It is different, but that's a Malayalam film that's very different.
That's very true.
So maybe that could be. That could be it.
Obviously, I know a lot of our longtime subscribers are big intakes of world cinema.
Yeah.
And so they've probably, very similar to us, and seen a lot of films like this. I mean, Damo makes films like this.
And that my suspicion is it's that. For the folks that are diehard, they love Malayalam cinema, they've grown up with Malayalam cinema, they know Malayalam cinema could be so different. This is a departure from that. Yeah,
one of those things that I think he mentioned it earlier, obviously, like how you're kind of noticed that, you're just going for style here. When those people, why would they go into that room without guns?
Right, without guns. That's the room they chose to not go in.
Because they needed to do hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-combat. And that's great for style, but there's no justification for that in the story.
Why would they go?
It makes no sense.
You knew every henchman of his would have had a gun.
Right.
Why didn't any of them have a gun and go into that room having guns?
Right.
And so that's one of the many things that you can tell when a movie's like, that you're just doing stuff because you think it would look cool.
Right. And then all of a sudden, they've got time to have a meeting and strategize how they're going to fight against these guys. And the sniper guy says, cease fire. And they've just suddenly, why have they stopped when they've got the upper hand? Why aren't they continuing to just plow into the house?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's just because, okay, now we need to have them stop fighting so that we can have the meeting in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy just going in on his motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. That too was like, we're going to have a guy ride through on his motorcycle.
Yeah. It does look cool. It does look cool. It does look cool.
Cool.
But it's like without like, you know, justification if you're not invested and stuff, it kind of just, you can see the gimmick behind it a lot of times.
Yeah.
Anyways, but let us know what you think about it, why you liked it, why you didn't like it, what your thoughts on it are, why we're idiots as always. You know, it all helps the algorithm. You can call us an idiot in the comments. That's totally fine. I am the Malayali taint licker though, so
that's true.
You can't accuse me of not just loving Malayali. Because I do.
No matter what they do.
And
I mean, and this was anurag in a Malayalam film.
Malayali film. It should be my favorite film ever.
That's right.
Anyways, Anurag did look like he had a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, he looked like he had a lot of fun. I do. However,
I do wish he was speaking Hindi. Though.
It was okay.
I think a lot of the times, I think the biggest issue with him is the dubbing was not helpful ever. It's never helpful. But especially in this, anytime they like spoke English, it just sounded kind of strange. But then obviously if he was speaking Malayali, it's not his native tongue. So it might have been one of those things. But I think like when like you just see him, you could be like, he looked invested to me. It looked like he was having a lot of fun. And then was this Hanuman Khan's first ever role? Wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
If this was his first ever role.
I think he's billed.
And I think he's Tamil
as a different name as well. Yeah. I don't think IMDb lists him with his moniker of Hanuman Khan.
Yeah. Anyway, let us know what you thought about it. Yep. And if you saw us on YouTube, you saw a very cut up version because of copyright reasons. If you like to see full length coverage of this and other Malayalam films, you can enter to Patreon or channel memberships. I'll put a link in the description up in gums to go check that out. And on to the next watch along.